UK mortgage rates have started to head higher, again, reversing the downward trend, as the Bank of England signals it's sticking with its efforts to rein in double-digit inflation. And then property experts warn that mortgage rates risk climbing further if markets firm up bets on the BOE continuing to hike interest rates to as high as 5%. And that's just betting the central bank will lift its key lending rate a quarter point, May 11 to 4.5%, continuing the quickest series of increases in 4 decades. Some lenders are starting to edge up the price of home loans again in anticipation of higher BOE rates that would strain households already grappling with the cost of living squeeze and bring fresh headaches for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who is trying to restore his government's popularity ahead of an election, likely next year. We've seen several of the mainstream lenders actually put rates up, said Andrew Montlake, managing director at Broker Corico. They do think that with stubborn inflation and the BOE probably going to put rates up again, that actually swap rates are still staying where they are. They don't seem to be falling anymore. The big 6 mortgage lenders increased rates slightly on the average 2-year fixed-rate mortgage with a 75% loan-to-value ratio, lifting the rate 16 percentage points to 4.65% last week. According to USwitch, on a 5-year deal, it rose 0.11% percentage points to 4.21% from the previous week. Mortgage costs are priced off movements in swap rates, which reflect the market's expectations for the future path of interest rates at the BOE. In normal times, mortgage costs, and that would rise along with the central bank's key rate. Lately, mortgages have been falling despite rising BOE rates. That's because mortgages shot up during the panic triggered by Liz Truss's budget when she was prime minister, and then she subsided when the crisis finished. Now, that trend has petered out, and the cost of borrowing has stabilized. However, stickier wage and price data have spurred bets that the BOE will keep hiking rates in throughout the summer, even as the U.S. Federal Reserve considers a pause in its tightening cycle. And those factors are starting to put upward pressure on the mortgage rate. Generally, if the BOE have to hike further than markets currently expect, then there's a stronger chance that mortgage rates will have to rise a little bit to compensate, said Anisha Beveridge, head of research at estate agent Hamptons International. The pace of mortgage rate cuts has leveled off. I think that's widely because it was believed that the BOE were coming towards the end of their hiking cycle. Investors are now bracing for a quarter-point increase in the BOE's key rate, both on May 11th and again, either June or August, with a more than 50% chance that rates peak at 5% in September. That at the very least will firm up more mortgage rates and may well send them higher. That I don't think it would take much of a hawkish shift in market pricing to cause mortgage rates to rise again, said Andrew Wishart, property market economist at Capital Economics. The 5-year swap rate already looks unusually low given bank rate cuts aren't yet on the agenda. He added that policy being even higher for longer at 4.5% could push mortgage rates up from where they are now. Some 4 million owner-occupiers face a fresh rise in mortgage rates when they renew their deals in 2023. The borrowing costs have come down from the highs hit late last year. The average 2-year fixed-rate deal has fallen from a peak of over 6.5% last October to 5.28% last week, according to Money Facts. That's still much higher than the 3% recorded a year ago. BOE Deputy Governor John Cunliffe said last year that interest rates would have to rise to 5% or higher to cause distress to mortgage borrowers. Economists are less hawkish about how high UK rates will go. The Bloomberg survey showed that economists expect the BOE to make one final quarter-point rate rise to 4.5% against officials. and then leave policy on hold for some time. Where things are at the moment, I can't see rates dropping by a percentage, that's for sure. Said Nick Mendez, mortgage technical manager at broker John Charcoal. There's a lot riding into the next few months. That's going to have a really interesting impact in terms of where rates go. UK house prices rise for first time in 8 months. UK home sellers slow